Good morning everyone. This is Lei from National Taiwan University of Sports. So today, I'm going to share my research with you. The topic of my study is effect of distinct slow grade and resistant load on high-intensity interval slide push training, a new joint analysis of the spectrums and amplitude for the fatigue monitoring. So as you know, I'm the last one here to present my presentations. And fatigue monitoring is really important, and I wish I don't let you feel tired or bored. So let's find out how to do the fatigue monitoring with a new drop-off way. So high-intensity interval slide push training is very popular right now, and it also can be applied for power training and strength training. But the effect of the resistance setting and the different gradients have not been well documented widely. The surface electromyography, as known as the SEMG, is a non-invasive way to do the estimated to do the muscle recruitment and the muscle activation to analyze the root mean square, as known as RMS, and medium frequency, as known as MPF. But the result of analyzing the RMS and MPF are not quite enough to distinguish the force decrease and fatigue. So, the joint analysis of spectral and amplitude is the way which developed the identified of muscle conditions between recovery, force increase, force decrease, and fatigue by the temperature change for the RMS and MDF. And there are two new ways for the Drosel method. The first one is the evolutionary Drosel method, which has the successive analyzed durations. And the second one is the sequential Drosel method, which has the sliding analysis durations. So in this study, we investigate the effect of resistance setting and gradients change on the muscle condition after the high-intensity interval slide push training with a modified Drosel method. So for our design, there are 8 male participants whose age 20 to 30 years old without habitual exercise training. And they have to be without any cardiovascular disease, without any surgeries of their lower extremities, and without any injuries of lower extremity in the past 3 months. The SEMG signals of gluteus maximus, gluteus medius, biceps femoris, segmental tenosis, vector lateralis appliquate, lateral medialis appliquate, the lateral head of gastrocnemius, and the medial head of gastrocnemius were collected through the norectal system. So the variations of slope grade and resistance load would be like 20% of gradients, 60% gradients, and high levels of resistance and low levels of resistance. So there must be 4 interventions in our studies. The first one is 12% gradient with a high resistance level. The second one is 12% gradients with a low resistance level. The third one is 16% gradients with a high resistance level. And the last one is 16 gradients with the low resistance level. So all the participants are performed 5 sprints for each intervention. And each sprint got 30 seconds. And after that, they will take a minute to rest. And every sprint got 30 seconds, and the time durations will be separated at 5 stages. And each stage got 3 seconds. And the RMS and NDF will be calculated at every stage. So in this study, we use the sequential Drosel method, which has the sliding durations. And the sliding durations will be from between the second stage and the fourth stage. And the statistical analysis will be run using the statistical package to test the effect of resistance setting and the gradients. So here's the whole result about the load grade and resistance loads. So let's find out here. So so you can see that the bicep, almost all the muscles are experience the frequency for the force increase ones, like biceps femoris and the median head of gastrocnemius. As you can see that, and you can see these little cute like caterpillars that made me feel a lot of stuff in my stomach. So anyway, so the black dot is the beginning, and the red one is the ending. So as you can see, the biceps femoris almost turning to the force increase one, and also the medial head of gastrocnemius almost turning to the force increase one too. But a few muscles like semitendinous and the lateral head of gastrocnemius turn into the fatigue one in these four interventions. As you can see in these figures, that at semitendinous they got the figures on line almost turning to the fatigue one, and the lateral head of the gastrocnemius turning to the fatigue one. And after looking for the effect of distinct low grades and resistance, now I'm going to talk about the effect of different gradients. So the effect of slow grade, we thought that there is almost like every muscles are having a force increase one in the both gradients, like the rectus lateralis amplitude. But on the muscle conditions of the semitendinous, it got the fatigue one at the gradients of 16%. As you can see that the rectus lateralis amplitude turn into the force increase one here, and semitendinous turn into the fatigue one here. So the next one I'm going to talk about the effect of resistance setting. So as you can see that comparing for all the muscle conditions, some with the high resistance levels like gluteus median turn into the force increase one, but some like the lateral head of gastrocnemius turn into the fatigue one at both sides of their resistance. As you can see in this line, the line of gluteus median turn into the force increase one, and the lines of the gastrocnemius turn into the fatigue one more. Okay, for all the results I mentioned above, we can learn that semitendinosis and the lateral head or gastrocnemius have a different results of all the muscles, which is that they are the only two muscles turn into the quadrants of fatigue. So I will talk about that in this part. So the muscle conditions of the semitendinosis, it turns to the fatigue one with the 16% gradients and in the high level. So compared to the gradients, we were thought that in the 16 gradients, it will turn into the fatigue one. As the same as the both of the high resistance level and the low resistance level, it will turn to the force increase. But very interesting that if you're looking for the high resistance one, it will turn into the fatigue one too. And for the condition of the lateral head of gastrocnemius, you will see that the force when it will be at with the 16 levels of the gradients, it will told that the force increase one. So, but when you compare to the gradients, it will be all for fatigue. But comparing to the resistance, it will be both fatigue and also you can see the load one will be force increase. So, based on my data, let me give you the conclusion by these three figures. So if you want to be training with the slow grade, I would recommend you that you can do the training with the 12 gradients. And if you would like to do the training with only the resistance load, then I will recommend you that you can do with the low resistance. And if you want to do the exercise or training with a slow grade and resistance low for the slide through training, I would recommend you that you can do with the 16% of gradients with the low resistance grade, because this is the only one intervention situations that cannot make any muscles fatigue. So that's all my presentation, and thanks for having me here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Is there any question? Please raise the hand.
Thanks for a great thanks for a great presentations. Okay, my question is, the first one is how to determine the slope grade in your study. The second question is how to define the fatigue. Okay, how to define fatigue, because this is a critical factor to affect the result. Thank you.
Okay, so first of all, the slope grade, how to set the slope grade is that we having the slide through machines, which actually got like six grade settings. It will be 10 to 12. But in this study, we choose the 12 one and the 16 one because they are almost common, but it has a little bit difference. And the second question, I will answer that how to. Sorry. Okay, so how to define the fatigue. Because as you can see this graph, that the x1 will be the RMS, and the y1 will be MBF. So if the RMS will be at the as you can see, if the number of RMS and NDF if the RMS got higher and the MDF got lower, the graph will be at the fatigue one, right here. And if the RMS go lower and the MDF go lower, it will become the graph will become this dot will become the force decrease one. So if the MDF got riser and the RMS get lower, the dot will become at the recovery one. So the last one must be the force increase. So the RMS get riser and the MDF get rising, the dot will become at the force increase. So that's how we define the situation of the muscle conditions.
Okay, is there any question for this presentation? Okay, I think this is a very interesting study, and I'm curious, have you measured the heart rate during the training?
Heart rate? Heart rate? Oh no. Actually, we having the monitoring for oxidation, the oxygen explanation with this study, but that will be another part to estimate the fatigue one. So that's not including in this presentation.
Okay, thank you. 我可以邀请这一场的4位发表者一起上台吗？